We try not to talk much about price or market cap on this channel, but we do try to talk about anything that might have a significant impact on adoption. And we've never talked about this guy or his stock to flow model and how it might impact ADA. Today's the day. Get ready. Let's go. Very quickly, I am still in a tent, someplace very beautiful, doing something that is wildly fun, which means I won't be able to respond to comments today. This also means you need to look out. We have imposters on this channel, and if you see someone down in the comments using the name Army of Spies who's trying to get you go to WhatsApp or anywhere else weird like that, this is a criminal trying to steal your crypto. Do not interact with that person. All right, let's get to it. Also, because I'm out of town, this is going to be an Army of Spies light episode, a little bit lighter than our normal episodes, but we'll be back to it in just a couple of days. Don't worry. So who is this guy? Who is this guy and why do we care? This looks like a Bitcoin guy. Why do we care about this? We're ADA guys. We're Cardano guys. We don't care about this guy. So we do care about adoption. This guy, Plan B, I'll tell you what I know about him. So he's admittedly a Dutch banker, or he was until very recently. I think he's quit his job now to go full-time just doing this. But he was a Dutch banker, and he was a big proponent of the stock to flow model. What is the stock to flow model? The stock to flow model is this. So this plots the number of months from the most recent Bitcoin halvening, whatever you want to call it, when the Bitcoin mining rewards get cut in half, right? So if it's very, very blue, that means we're very, very close to the halving. We're very, very close to it. If it's blue, there's 0 months. So right here, there's like 0 months. If we're very, very dark red, that means the halving just took place. We're like very far from the next halving, but we just barely experienced one. If we're kind of in this orangish yellow, we're kind of right in the middle, towards green. We're like right in the middle of the cycle. So you could see here, he's plotted this on this chart back to 2010-ish, 2010, just prior to 2011. And you can see here, in the case of this original cycle, we saw a peak up above $10 here. And this is an exponential scale. So if you spend time looking at charts online, you'll notice some people are using these exponential logarithmic scales and some people are using normal scales. He's going to use logarithmic scale here. So you can see he gets up above the $10 mark right here when it's kind of getting, darkish green. And then he drops back down, it gets blue. So darkish green here, he's in this realm, 15 months, a little over a year from the next halving. So pretty far from the previous one. And then it gets blue, and the halving took place here. So we go from this blue over here to the red over here. And we go all the way up above $1,000. This was during the Mt. Gox run up when on Mt. Gox, you had this thing called the Willy bot. There was another bot as well. I can't remember what it was called, but the Willy bot was basically, we'll say it was allegedly creating fake transaction flow and driving the price up on the Mt. Gox exchange. That's what was going on, and that's what drove this big bubble. Or so we thought at the time. We got up here in the kind of orangish yellow, and then we drop back down into the green and the blue. And you notice the blue is kind of the bottom of the cycle here and the bottom of the cycle here. And then it goes red, and we get up in here. 2017, we experience the ICO craze. And once again, we get up into the yellow and we peak. Then 2018 happens, we crash back down, and we get into the greens and blues. And here we are, 2020, it goes from blue to red. So we went from 0 months to 50 months. That means the halving occurred. we start another cycle. It gets red over here and it starts getting more and more orangish on the way back up. So what's remarkable about the stock to flow model, right? Not difficult to come up with this model. And here he actually gives you the formula up here. I'll let you delve into that if you're more interested in the actual metric itself. But for most of us, we're just like, okay, I can see the way this plots out. Is it accurate? So you can see he's created a little staircase here to explain how all this plays out, and it's pretty accurate. Like, it looks pretty accurate, right? In fact, if we go to, that's sort of the staircase style one. If we go down here, oh, went the wrong spot there. This is a Forbes article where they've smoothed out the curve. You can see that we're starting to match it. It's not perfect. It doesn't look perfect, but it matches pretty well. We've got this pretty good match. We've got this pretty good match between the trend line he's trying to draw here and the actual price when we plot this on a logarithmic scale. So I'll let all you chart aficionados argue about this logarithmic scale versus a normal scale, all the various minutia that you guys love to get into. I was the same way back in 2015. When I was newer, I'd only been in crypto a couple years and I was trading all the time. I was doing all the crazy stuff too. I was drawing triangles on charts. I was thinking about Ichimoku clouds and Fibonacci retracements, spending a lot of time on that. I don't spend any time on that stuff anymore, but I think it's important for us to look at the stock to flow model for completely different reasons. This stock to flow model has been remarkably accurate to predict a wildly unpredictable market in crypto, in Bitcoin specifically. But we know there's still a high degree of correlation. There's still a lot of correlation in the crypto markets, right? When Bitcoin goes crazy, so does Ethereum, so does Cardano, so does Ripple, so does everything. Everything goes crazy. And so we would love a decorrelation between Cardano and the rest of the crypto markets, right? Because it'll show our strength as an asset, but it hasn't happened yet. So we need to think about what it's going to look like when we get back to these sort of like yellow dots over here, right? According to the Plan B model, the proponents of the stock to flow model, including Plan B, would say that, that should happen, maybe somewhere over in here. We should get to this point where it gets all yellow. So, where does that put us? Somewhere over in here. Maybe it's right here. Maybe it's September, October, November. Maybe it's January. I'll let you guess where this little arc goes. But at some point over here, the stock to flow model is predicting that Bitcoin's going to go crazy. And because we still have this correlation that we'd love to kill, we'd love to get rid of the correlation, but because we still have it, it's very possible that if this pattern continues to hold to be true, that we might have Cardano going crazy as well. So what's happened in the past, I've lived through two of these, right? I got into crypto, kind of like in this range. I can't remember if it was 2012 or 2013 when I first got into crypto, but by this peak right here, I was so into crypto that I live blogged the Mt. Gox meltdown on my Facebook. Right, I was super into crypto right here, and I kind of lived through this one. I watched this whole run up, and this whole meltdown, and then this whole run up, and this whole meltdown, and now we're on the third one for me. But every time this happens, a huge number of people come into crypto. I mean, we've seen it happen over the course of 2020 until now. We were in the doldrums down here in the start of 2020, and now we're clear up here. We've already seen a huge number of people come in, but it's during this section right here that you see the gigantic increases in adoption. We're going to have a huge number. If this pattern holds true, we're going to have a huge number of people coming into all of crypto, including Cardano, right in this period. If you believe in this, wherever you think this arc goes over here, if you believe that this stock to flow model, is an indicator of something, we're going to have a huge number of people coming into Cardano. So we kind of need to brace ourselves for that. But the timing is so beautiful. I mean, think about it. If we hit it somewhere over in here, we'll already have Alonzo hard fork combinator event, which means we'll already have the full functionality of Goguen smart contracts. We'll already be that many more months down the road in terms of Africa adoption in Ethiopia and Tanzania. And according to what John O'Connor told us the other day, a whole bunch of other countries. It's going to be this tornado, this perfect storm of this stock to flow thing going on, the smart contracts, the Africa adoption. It's all like working out perfectly for whenever you think this time period is going to occur. If you think it's going to occur, we're in for some dramatic, awesome things. And that's not even taking into account all the craziness with the launch of the various DeFi things on the Cardano network. So when those things launch, the effect they've had in the past is a supply side crunch, right? It's like people rush to utilize those products and a whole bunch of the base currency gets locked up in those products. That's what we've seen in the past with these types of products on Ethereum, with these types of products on Binance, who we just talked about the other day. There was we had the whole discussion about how the entire skyrocketing arc of Binance was based on this stuff that was in a way separate from all the awesome things that's led to the run up in price of Cardano. And how once we have those same things in Cardano, we might be just stacking that one arc on top of the other in terms of adoption, right? We're just talking about adoption here, not in terms of price. But we might have this same thing. We might have this same thing in Cardano. We've got what looks like it's going to be a peak in the stock to flow model, which is just going to make people want to jump on the Cardano train because the whole space is going to be going crazy. We've got all the Africa stuff. We've got all the Goguen stuff after Alonzo. And on top of that, we might have a supply side crunch, which is just going to make people rush into Cardano even more because it'll create that supply side crunch, which is going to create a sense of scarcity. And we don't spend a lot of time talking about the price, but I am super excited for the adoption. I think a lot of people are going to become all these things together, this perfect storm of elements together are going to result in a lot of people becoming more interested in Cardano. And what I believe is that when people look into Cardano, they're going to get really excited about what they find. So this is going to be a really exciting period coming up. I hope you're psyched for it too. And with that, I'll talk to you tomorrow.